We're in the third one, right? Still?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Why a budget is important to us and how it became important. I think we've done this video 3 times so far. So you started last time.
Okay.
Want me to start? Yeah.
Sure.
Why a budget is important to me is because it helped me to see how I was spending money, and like it helped me to track my money footprint, as it were, and it helped me to see like the little things added up so quickly, and I didn't really realize that. And so when you're looking at something like the results in front of you, you're looking at the truth in front of you, it just is undeniable. And so it helped me to realize that maybe I wasn't spending our money in the best, most helpful way for our family. And then it took me a while to realize that it really wasn't. It took me a while to become a team player, because it wasn't just me spending money for the reasons I wanted to spend money, but it was like it helped me to become a team player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for me, I think a budget is important to me. One, so that we can communicate simply about what's going on, that we have the same language. And it's also important, and probably the most important thing to me, is that it's not like a budget is a silver bullet that just fixes all these problems. It's that a budget is a vehicle to help us get to our financial goals.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of other vehicles out there. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but I think a budget is just a really simple way to get to what you're going for. And I think it's important to realize that a budget is just a vehicle. It's not the be-all, end-all solution. It's not going to just fix everything, but it is an effective vehicle to help get you to where you're going.
I think what helped me is realizing that we were the ones who created our budget, not necessarily our budget. We're the ones who are in control of the budget. The budget isn't in control of us, and I think that really helped me. Because I was, at first I was like, oh my gosh, why do I have to stick to this thing? It's just like so, it's so rigid and whatever. And I finally kind of realized that, like, no, like, if I had to like switch my thinking, like, no, this is supposed to be helpful. Why don't I think this is helpful? Oh, because I think it's restricting me. Why do you think it's restricting you? Because I had to switch my mind of just being so like nonchalant, like, oh, here's money, I can spend it now because more money will come in. Well, that's true, but maybe I just missed a bunch of opportunities for the future by not putting some of that away, or by maybe just thinking about my purchase for a minute and then realizing, oh, maybe this isn't the best purchase. Maybe I can make a better decision about how I can purchase it, or maybe if I even need it, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think it became important to me because before we were married, I had a looser system for tracking money, which worked for me as an individual, but it didn't work and didn't translate well into marriage. And so when I tried to introduce Sarah to that system, it was very difficult and stressful because it was basically just, the system was essentially don't spend money.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's hard to communicate to somebody that doesn't understand that or doesn't have that paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think you need to see that you spent $200 at Walgreens 3 months in a row.
Right.
You need to see that before you believe that that's actually happening.
Yeah.
Because before that it was like, well, it was only $5, it was only $10, and it just adds up. It doesn't take long to add those things to add up.
Yep.
And so we kind of slowly migrated to the budget because that was just the easiest way for us to be on the same page and work together towards our financial goals.
Yeah. And why it became important. Oh, I think I touched on it before, but why it became important to me is because I think I finally realized, just after conversation after conversation after conversation, that each dollar I spend is a minute, X amount of time for Daniel to be at work. So, like the less I can spend, or the wiser I can spend, because I mean, it's not like we're not trying to spend money. We just want to spend it. We just want to maximize our spending. That was cute. To the best for the advantage of our family. So I think it really helped when I realized that if I'm wise with money, it translates into our future, and me spending money directly affects Daniel. And I didn't really realize that for a very long time. So I think that's what helped me become a team player, when I realized that my communication I had to do a way better job. And and I think retirement, we should explain what that is to us for it to be helpful.
Oh, right. Yeah. So we define retirement, maybe not in like the traditional, like you're just not working anymore, but it's that you're in control of your time and energy, where you have the freedom to maybe work for a nonprofit, or you are able to start the business you've always wanted to start, or you're able to do the things with your time and money that you otherwise don't have the freedom to do when you're just working in a more typical employment situation.
Yeah. So retirement to us doesn't mean we stop working. It just means I guess the daily grind stops. Mm-hmm. Even though currently, it's our goal for Daniel to like his job and not to just, hold his breath for 20 years. That's not the point either, but it's also like where he can have more freedom with a more broad choices, I guess.
Right.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. This one is about...
I thought we were only doing 3.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean... Whoops. It's still going.